David, what do you suggest for the newcomers, for all the beginners who, who want to start their own businesses, who wants to, jump right into the entrepreneurship journey? So, but they're afraid. I think, of course, they're afraid. They have doubts in their head, but deep down, they want to do it. So, what are your suggestions for the beginners?
Well, when you're just starting off, yeah, obviously there's fear involved, and that's like natural, like we already talked about. It's what stops most people to begin with.
Yeah,
And it's easy for me to be cliche and just say, just don't have any fear and go for it. Like that doesn't really help anybody.
yeah,
Um, for me, in my mind, numbers always work best. I quote a lot of numbers when I say stuff online, and only 5% of the population really makes any amount of money. Everybody else below that is somewhere, they're paycheck to paycheck, or they're down to the poverty line or worse. They're struggling to make it through life financially. And money is not everything, but it does help with some things. In that 5%, there are very, very few people who are there because they had a job and they invested wisely their whole life. There are a few there, but not many.
hmm,
Almost all of those people owned businesses. Usually they owned multiple businesses.
yeah,
And the ones that are at the very high end of that, they grew enormously large businesses. And so even if you're, again, kind of like we talked about earlier, if you just stick around long enough, you'll be the only person left, in business. Even if you're not nearly as successful as other people in business, if you get started, especially at a young age, and you keep going, and you can have a failure. I've had 6 businesses I had to close early on. I made mistakes, didn't do things the right way, didn't know what I didn't know. A lot of it was lack of planning, not having a clear goal of what I was trying to do.
hmm,
But even if you're just okay at it, you'll be in that top 5%, because businesses have all those tax advantages almost regardless of what country you're from. Um, they get to operate completely different than humans do as far as how you're taxed and everything. So this is like the path to climb out of poverty.